Narcissists are shifty creatures. They walk through life, dressed up as regular human beings just like the rest of us, but deep inside, their self-absorption is all-consuming and even predatory. The strangest thing is, once you've had the displeasure of experiencing multiple narcissists, you come out the other side realizing that they're all pretty cookie-cutter. The weird things narcissists say are extremely unoriginal across the board. It's almost like they're reading from a script. So, let's have a look at weird things narcissists say, and explore what they really mean underneath those words. Things narcissists say in a relationship.
It's just because I care about you so much.
The narcissist is reinforcing your internal desire to have them genuinely care about you. The thing is, their actions rarely demonstrate true care and kindness, so they need to occasionally say the words, just to breadcrumb you into thinking that it's true. The confusion of their words being a contradiction to their actions creates cognitive dissonance. This is where the mind can't take on the two opposites, so it chooses the one that it wants to see as real.
We're soulmates.
Narcissists will use the soulmate card to create exclusivity, and make you feel like there is no one else. This effectively gets you to sign yourself over to them, so that they can drain your life force energy into their empty black void, as much as their conscienceless selves desire.
You're so controlling, and I know I'm not the only one who thinks that.
This whole statement is wrapped up in projection and triangulation. They're blaming you for the very thing that they're doing, then bringing in backup by saying that others agree with them. Quite often, these outside opinions are completely fabricated, just to further devalue you and isolate you.
You don't own me. I don't have to do what you say, whenever you say it.
Narcissists absolutely hate authority or being made to do anything. They might agree to something 1 minute, without actually having any intention of going through with it. Then when you ask them why they didn't follow through, they'll throw at you, "Stop trying to control me. It's your problem for making assumptions."
Everyone says how perfect we are together.
Everything comes down to appearances for a narcissist. If they look good, it means they gain the admiration and attention they need to feed their ego. You are a prop to them. An accessory to validate their agenda, or a tool to gain resources and energy. Narcissists love the idea that people envy their relationship, even though you know it's subpar behind closed doors.
That's because of your trauma, not me.
Whenever you approach the narcissist about how you're feeling, or how their behavior is affecting you, they'll blame shift using your trauma. Being the empathetic, wounded soul that you are, you'll go off and try to fix yourself, bearing the weight of all the relationship issues. Meanwhile, the narcissist kicks back and changes nothing about themselves, effectively shifting their own baggage onto you to carry and deal with. Things narcissists say in an argument.
After everything I've done for you.
Everything to a narcissist is transactional. Nothing they do is for free. Therefore, every little thing that they do is because they expect it to be returned to them tenfold. It doesn't matter how terribly they treat you, they will use that one time they did something nice to make you feel awful for ever voicing your hurts or concerns.
You'd be nothing without me.
The truth is, the narcissist actually needs you more than you need them. But they absolutely cannot have you find out this truth, otherwise you'd never stick around. Instead, they chip away at your self-worth and make you believe that you need them to succeed and survive. It's a classic inversion of truth.
You're so ungrateful.
The narcissist feels fully entitled to treat you however they feel like. Then if you ever turn around and complain about anything, they'll accuse you of being ungrateful. In their mind, you should be so lucky they're even there at all.
You always have to make everything about yourself.
Having a narcissist blame you for being self-centered is one of the most frustrating things to have to endure. They usually whip this one out in the very rare moments that you're asking for your needs to be considered.
Just let it go already.
The narcissist wants you to stop talking about this topic, because it zones in on what they're actually doing, in the way of manipulation and abuse. If you don't, they will further gaslight you to completely minimize your experience, just to reiterate that this topic is not open for discussion.
Stop yelling at me.
Usually, when a narcissist tells you to stop yelling, it's because they are actually yelling at you, and want to really wind you up. The whole point is to make you feel like you're going crazy and bait you until you snap. Then the narcissist will switch to cool, calm and collected, making you out to be an unhinged nut job. When you're in this space, they have complete control over your emotions, which makes it easier to gaslight your reality and get you to bend to their will, usually out of sheer exhaustion.
You made me do it.
If there's one famous narcissistic line, this is the one. Narcissists are renowned for blaming their victims for the very abuse they issue out. It's the ultimate wiping of their hands and refusal to take responsibility.
You always have to be right, don't you?
The narcissist can see that you're onto them, so they need to totally invalidate you and squash your confidence in yourself to stop you from going further down that path. This tactic is to make you feel like you need to defend yourself. Then, once you're down their word salad rabbit hole, they can gaslight you and create self-doubt just to throw you off the scent.
Why do you always have to argue about everything?
Anytime you make the narcissist feel uncomfortable or call them out, they like to accuse you of creating an argument. This diverts away from their abusive behavior and sheds you in the light of being the creator of all problems. Before you know it, you're trying to defend yourself and have completely forgotten about the initial conversation. Just like that, they've managed to evade accountability. Things narcissists say to keep you around or get you back.
No one else will ever love you the way I do.
The narcissist is trying to make you feel like the love you shared is 1 in a million. They're gaslighting you into thinking that without them, you'll never be able to experience love again. They're ultimately saying that you're unlovable, but wrapping it up in a love bomb.
You're the only one I'll ever love. Or, I'll never love anyone ever again.
This is a total guilt maneuver, designed to make you feel like you're robbing the narcissist of ever being in a relationship again. They want you to feel extremely bad for walking away, even though they've probably already got the next person lined up.
Why didn't you tell me you were unhappy? We could have fixed this.
Notice how the narcissist uses we instead of I. This is a roundabout way of not taking any responsibility for the breakdown of the relationship, because they've dumped you right into the problem. If you didn't tell them that you were unhappy, how could they possibly have known, right? Therefore, it's all your fault. This could also be used as a future fake, because you could be left thinking that they do want to fix things, although they didn't directly say that.
I know I've had commitment issues, but let's have that baby, or get married, or move in together.
The narcissist knows exactly what your hopes and dreams are, and actively withholds them from you during the relationship, as a means of control. It also gives them something to offer as a false promise, if you've got one foot out the door and they need to pull you back in.
How could you leave me right now, at this point in my life?
The narcissist will try to make you feel guilty for daring to leave them right at this crucial moment. In reality, it doesn't matter when you leave them, they will always have some type of drama that they'll use to keep you there.
I'll go to therapy and change. I know what I've done wrong, and I want to work on it.
The narcissist is saying exactly what you want to hear, to get you back right now, based on what they are saying they'll do in the future. They have no intention of going to therapy or changing, because they don't think there's anything wrong with them or their behavior.
What's the point in living now? I might as well just end myself.
If the narcissist is feeling really desperate in trying to keep you, they'll pull out the biggest emotional blackmail of them all. No matter how well played this is, or even if they did try to do it, you are never responsible for someone else's life. That falls squarely on their own shoulders. However, narcissists know exactly how to zone in on your empathy and use it against you as a weapon.
So, as soon as there's one little problem, you're just going to give up or run away.
This is another guilt trip tactic to shame you and make you feel bad about wanting to leave them. Again, they downplay and take zero responsibility for their actions. You're the problem for giving up and walking away. Shame on you.
Can I please speak with you? I just want to ask a few things so that I can have some closure.
Be very wary of a narcissist trying to shoulder their way in for an innocent conversation. They will either want to hook you back into their web, or gaslight you to control the storyline. The narcissist needs to make sure that you keep your mouth closed about their abusive ways, so they can keep their public image intact. To do that, they need to manipulate your memory of things, so that you are left questioning yourself and rationalizing their behaviors. That way, you will be less likely to ever cast them in a bad light.
So, what's your plan now? Just be pathetic and broke forever.
If you really are leaving the narcissist, they have to be sure to devalue you in the process. They just can't fathom why someone would leave their amazing self. They should be the ones discarding you. So, To deflect their true inner feelings of abandonment and rejection, they'll aim to crush your self-worth to make themselves look and feel better. Things narcissists say to excuse their behavior.
I was just stressed. I didn't really mean it.
In the world of a narcissist, they can say and do whatever they like without consequence. If you turn around and express how cruel or hurtful they were, they'll just brush it off with, "I didn't mean it, just get over it." It's a complete avoidance of accountability and invalidation of your feelings.
If you would just shut up and listen, I wouldn't have to yell at you or repeat myself.
Of course, it's not the narcissist's fault for yelling, it's your fault for making them yell. Nothing is ever the narcissist's fault, because their false self has them believing that they are perfect and superior.
Maybe if you paid me a bit more attention, I wouldn't have to look at other people.
If a narcissist gets caught perving, watching porn or even scrolling on dating apps, they will immediately blame you for their actions. It's not their fault they're looking elsewhere, it's your fault for not giving them enough.
You need to sort out your jealousy streak.
If the narcissist is cheating on you, and you start to catch wind of it, get ready to be hit with all sorts of abuse. They want to have their cake and eat it too, because they're completely entitled and don't see a problem with it. In fact, if you come sniffing around, you are now the problem, not their behavior. They'll have you doubting yourself, and even apologizing to them for ever thinking that they could possibly cheat on you. Things narcissists say when gaslighting. Countering phrases.
You have such a bad memory. This is what actually happened. I hurt you? What about what you did to me? You've got a crazy imagination. My memory has always been perfect. You're delusional. Maybe you should get some help.
The narcissist will completely contradict your memory and version of events, even if you know that what you're saying is true, and you've got hard evidence to support it. Denial phrases.
I never said that. That never happened. I was never there. You seriously just make stuff up. This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Narcissists are pathological liars, and have no issue with denying truths that do not serve their agenda. Even if they just do it at random intervals, for no other purpose than to mess with your head, and control your memory. Withholding phrases.
I don't have time for this. If you don't know what you did, I shouldn't have to explain it to you. I am who I am. If you don't like it, there's the door. Whatever. I'm done talking about this.
Narcissists withhold as a way of making you grovel for information and validation from them. They know that your nervous system will be on edge, and that they're keeping you in a state of anxiety. By controlling your emotions, they feel extremely powerful. Invalidating phrases.
It was just a joke, get over it. You're so sensitive. Are you really going to let something so small ruin the entire weekend? Why are you being so difficult? Poor you. Would you like a tissue? That's not important.
When someone is constantly devaluing you, over time you begin to think that there must be something intrinsically wrong with you. This is how the narcissist diminishes your self-worth and identity, to instill that they are the only important one in the relationship. Your feelings and experiences do not matter. Diverting phrases.
You're the one with the problem here, not me. If you just did as you were told, I wouldn't have to yell or punish you. Are you calling me a liar? You always have to make everything about you. Because you're just perfect, aren't you? What about all of the things you've done?
The whole idea of diverting the focus off themselves and back onto you, is to shift the blame and avoid accountability. They'll make out that you're the problem, not them. And finally, things narcissists say that give themselves away.
Why were you out so late last night? Are you seeing somebody behind my back?
If a narcissist is paranoid about you cheating on them, it's a huge red flag that they're currently cheating on you, or thinking about doing so. Narcissists think that everyone operates the way they do, in the dog-eat-dog world.
Why do you take your phone with you to the bedroom? Have you got something to hide?
Again, if the narcissist has something to hide on their phone, they'll suddenly become suspicious that you might be hiding something from them. Then they'll totally give themselves away, by accusing you of the very thing that they're doing.
Don't think I don't know what you're up to.
Clearly the narcissist is up to something dodgy, and they don't want you to know anything about it. So, just to create a big grand diversion, they'll accuse you of being up to something. Now, you'll be too busy defending yourself, and trying to prove your trustworthiness, to see what they are up to.
My ex is a crazy psycho.
If you ask any narcissist about their exes, odds are that they'll all be psychos. Remember, narcissists are masters at blaming others for their own disowned behavior. But if all of their exes are being painted as crazy, and the narcissist is the common denominator, maybe they are the psycho one after all. And if their pattern is crazy exes, you can guarantee that you are now the next future crazy ex in line. For more information on narcissism, head to unmaskingthenarc.com.